What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the third studio album by American thrash metal band Megadeth. Basically, this product is called So Far So Good So What, and it came out in the winter of 1988. So the fair about this product here is this is a hit album before the one of Megadeth's particular on the scene, particular commercial spotlight albums, pitches like that, which is Rust in Peace. Now I reviewed Rust in Peace back in like the winter 2025. Good pitches like that, excellent top ordeals. I actually reviewed that in late 2024, but within pitch for saying just the product, some of these type ones. I wanted to get back to Megadeth because I don't have them scheduled, or I do have them scheduled, but it may not surface for quite some time, probably deep into 2026 or further. Review may not surface till even 2027, so it's going to be forever by the time I get to even 3 or 4 of these particular ones that I've done. So within pitches, I wanted to re-up with Megadeth, some of these type fairs that got some hit type stuff, qualities like that. So within the pitch, yeah, this is an easy class here. It's another Furious type one. This is more amidst like the 80s thrash prime era pitches like that. Just an aspect. Now, the thing about Rust in Peace, I purchased that album, good pitches like that. I listened to the occasion. I listened to a few tunes off that product. I'm still getting more used to that particular product in terms of like everyday commonplace, but songs like Hangar 18 and like there's another one off there. Definitely Hangar 18, the other single, Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, is getting more eventual type airplay pitches like that. I'm going to start fucking with that one more. And then Take No Prisoners is a nice one. Some of those type pitches that I fuck with. Other type ones like Lucretia and some of those type ones, Tornado Souls. But it's just within the rotation, having 7,000 songs on the MP3 player, but pitches like that sounds excellent type where it is. Wanting to get to some further kind of hit type appeal. Now, like I said, the thing with Rust in Peace within those ordeals about it is that was kind of an album that was before like a good thrash explosion that happened in like the early 90s. Pitches like that as thrash metal and overall just as thrash metal and just overall heavy metal started to get a lot more commercial commonplace. Specifically, one of which was responsible for it was Metallica with their Black album from 1991. As far as this pitch could happen, but Rust in Peace came out several months before that particular album, so it was kind of like a sketchy kind of on the drawing board type aspect of what Metallica was getting ready to do with their defining album from around those particular times. But it's this good type pitch. It was a good look just because it was within that relative neighborhood and variety, but it's this kind of pitch that Metallica had a little bit more capital type commonplace. From what I remember, Rust in Peace may have went like 2 times platinum, but it didn't go, it was not a diamond selling album, multi-platinum like for days like some of the Metallica ones, pitches like that. But it is good type products. So this is another type 1. Now back in those particular days, Megadeth with Dave Mustaine and then James Hetfield with Metallica, they were competing pitches like that. This some of the big 4. I don't know if they were full bound competing like that, but it's kind of pitched the big 4 as some of those type 1s in metal. When you think of Anthrax, Metallica, Megadeth, and there's the 4th one, it might be Slayer. Megadeth, Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, those type pitch. So excellent type products within the product of it, but this is just some further type 1 within that particular Fury, competing with Metallica around this time pitch like this. So nails the appeal, so easy enough, 10 out of 10 within these pitches. Now the fair about this particular album is does not appear to have as much this album does not appear to have as much commercial kind of commonplace about it. Didn't really seem to stack up like the singles compared to like one of their works of art, Rust in Peace, within those type of ordeals. Didn't have any charting singles in America within these pitches. Did get to 5 singles, but it's this kind of pitch. The closest thing that some of these type charted to was in Europe, pitches like that. So it's kind of fair. Question why in particular Megadeth charted beforehand in like Europe sooner than they did, and like America pitches like that. But it's within the ordeal as far as saying still some capital type appeals. Do you like all 5 of the singles off this product? Is to be said, recommend all 8 songs of this product, so 10 out of 10 within these appeals. So look after this within acclaim, just being able to say. Now the particular fair about this has some aspects of some differential type tones about it compared to like Rust in Peace, but really Rust in Peace has some commerce type 1s. Hangar 18 was kind of a traffic type 1. I think that's the same thing with Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, some of those type 1s. From what I remember when I listened to Rust in Peace within the commonplace about it, specifically kind of Hangar 18, it's kind of more amidst the fray of just songs that Ozzy Osbourne would kind of do with songs like Paranoid, and like particular Crazy Train and some of those type ones within the pitch, as far as like the form of other type ones by Ozzy, like Flying High Again and Over the Mountain Zones type pitches that are just kind of missed, like On the Road type Fury pitches like that. So this is blistering type album. Band work really goes off the chain with some of these type of appeals. It's real thrash to like the extent of what was particularly going on. Definitely does not feel like it should The viciousness as to how some of these type of things were happening way back in 1988 is off the chain as far as these ordeals going to happen. It's kind of the pitch. It just is not terribly commercial within the aspect as far as like the radio grabs. Now I would say it does have like some packets of radio grabs. Makes me question like the particular songs that would pop up on like classic rock radio nowadays, and just the pitch. If certain things, when you think of Megadeth, if they're playing some of these type ones on like the oldies stations, pitches like that, whether or not particularly In My Darkest Hour has over 60 million plays on Spotify, so you think that maybe that would get some airplay. Haven't recognized it as full bound, but then I didn't know too many songs by Megadeth like that as full bound within those pitches. But some of these type ones, there are some buzz singles off here that feel like they could have some acclaim pitches like that, the way Metallica typically gets that. But for the most part, it's typically kind of Metallica that's kind of that usually gets the most commonplace kind of airplay out of the Big Four, which is interesting that these folks are the Big Four, but you pay attention, it's usually Metallica that gets the girth, the lion's share, like the consistent kind of classic airplay. Now, I might be wrong within pitches. I think within certain sense, at least 90s Megadeth has some of those type of feels, but it's this kind of pitch, paying attention that this didn't have any rock charting kind of charting singles, this kind of pitch, but it's just still Capitol. It's kind of grounds for some good commercial kind of commonplace within a buzzing type aspect. The buzz type album has the dungeon type fare, but it's just more on the go pitch like that. Has some wet outside type ones. If you like songs like Battery by Metallica and Nothing Else Matters, some of those type pitches is kind of the format as far as getting towards some of those type ones. Has some commonplace air in some of these type aspects in the tone as far as like the day fare, but it's kind of missed the pitch that is just snappier and within the aspect of really getting towards the commotion of dislike the particular product of like. This particularly has like a jalapeno in its tailpipe, so good pitch like that. But Sex and Tower does definitely the fury behind it. It's not so much claustro as much as it is just productive. This is kind of like a good fastidious kind of productive and like a going type sense. This kind of pitch as far as saying just getting the shit done, kind of wired, just good wired kind of commerce pitch like that. So look after it. Just to say, Hook and Mouth is a nice one. It's like a good bubbler and buzz single to get with the hit song Hook and Mouth. Is like a good bubbler and buzz single to get for like routine kind of 80s thrash bang as far as these first gonna have them, just some garage / shop type ones. This is one. This particular song's more amidst like the commonplace, like the particular fare, just like chillax type noise, pitches like that. Now it still has some pretty furious type bounds with it. This is a pretty approachable type song within like the pitch of like a good starting kind of point. Not so much starting point, but just kind of aspect of like an affable type one that just feels a little bit more commercial bound pitch like that. Definitely good buzz single. Some of those type pitches, just easy kind of just garage / shop type noise pitch like that. Some stuff ordeals. So just kind of missed the aspect of some beers in the fridge out in the garage pitches like that. Some stuff ordeals. Just standard commonplace, just chillax, post up with your pals. Good pitches like that. I missed those fares. Some summer fun, like a traditional, it's of like the dungeon variety, but it's just kind of more amidst the aspect. It's of the dungeon variety, but it's just kind of more amidst the aspect of like fair, just outdoor type product. Yeah, just shop type noise, more kind of localized, just secondary type places within pitches, just kind of. It's kind of localized residential type complex, but just in secondary type places as opposed to like the main kind of hot spots, whether it would be just backyard kind of deck and porch type fare, just pitch like this other type spots, hitting up the garage, being near a vehicle, your vehicle, one of those, a vehicle, your vehicle, some of these type pitches within products, some of those type products, but just excellent type product about it. Anarchy in the UK is a nice one. It's a good snap to it, and adjutant kind of get along. I'd say just an 80s kind of Alice in Chains type bop pitch like that, some type form. So this kind of has not so much full blown grunge, but just the aspect of like a good sprawling type one that just really feels like a rocks, pretty rock heavy, just rock on type vibes pitch like that. It's really devil horns type noise pitch like that. It's kind of some sunny kind of thrash traffic. So this kind of has like some decent commercial complex. I'm not saying that some of these don't on here. It's kind of the pitch that they kind of do, but it's just kind of the pitch that it's just kind of more. It's not to say shoddy in terms of quality, but it's just the pitch as far as saying it's just the effect of it just feels more MTV2 kind of complex more so than MTV1 within these pitches. So it's just kind of variety, but definitely pretty good rock staples. This everyday type fare for XM radio within like places like Ozzy's Boneyard, if that's still around, pitch like that. One of Ozzy's old XM radio stations pitches like that, but just being able to say some of that pitch is just good. It's another nice one that has like some good vanilla snap out of it within these pitches. A good kind of bop along to get like some sunshine pitches like that within those ordeals. So just picking up like probably even, wouldn't know if it'd be as full bound as like this McDonald's, like McDoubles, things like that within those pitches. But this probably within variety is an Arby's type run to something within that variety, just the usual kind of fast food kind of hotspot pitch like that, just out in the traffic of it. Mary Jane is the third single. It's the nice one. It's like a woozy kind of power ballad to get in wet kind of day. Mary Jane's like a woozy kind of power ballad to get in wet day, kind of push along, I'd say, with them products over here. Just grab like some egg rolls, some of these products in the aspect, good extra Good extra type product, just a good makeshift kind of grease as far as these fares gonna go. Definitely like Metallica out of like the late 80s, early 90s pitches like that. Some of those type ones definitely like Nothing Else Matters, in particular like Wherever I May Roam. Some of those type pitches from the product. It's kind of arena type makeshift within the, basically like in arena rock and arena metal, kind of in a makeshift type format, and this particular kind of push along as far as the space down. But definitely Wet Outside Some type pitches, definitely some of those just kind of slaggy kind of day type aspects, just yucky outside to say within those products. Good excellent products about it just within those fares. In My Darkest Hours, the fourth single, and this is the most popular song according to Spotify within pitches like that. It's interesting to kind of get that, because I do question if it has been picked up on commonplace kind of rock radio pitches like that. But now that this particular album is almost 40 within these pitches, kind of the aspect as far as saying, was just the product as far as getting towards like the aspect of seems like a pretty good staple, even though I don't recognize it as full bound, but it's good type pitches. I mean, it seems like a pretty popular banger. Seems like a pretty popular banger, I'd say. In My Darkest Hours, like an early bird, kind of Nothing Else Matters, I'd say. Just another Wet Outside type one pit. Another Wet Outside type one pitch, just like that. Just some traffic kind of in the rounds about it. Goes along pretty well with Mary Jane, I'd say here. Just some raw errands to kind of get to. Pick up like a pizza also within some of those type pitches to keep it interesting. So it's this kind of pitch as far as saying some of these type fares about it. Just raw errands just within the product. Or just getting some shit done within the aspect of just like possible list of things to do for like the day fair as far as the pitch can have, and just kind of a standard hands full, not so much hands full in terms of like the gripe aspects where it's just kind of a crap type day, but just kind of pitch a disc standard rope up kind of curriculum pitch like that, just in a more rainier just fairs of that particular nature, just some slog type fare, just some good aspects like the tone behind it. Same sort of playlist that you would play with songs like Nothing Else Matters and Battery off of Metallica, some of those type pitches, some of those type ones. It's the ones that Ozzy's probably done within those products. I can't think is full bound, but some of those type ones, the more kind of sprawling and just kind of stretching type ones, and like a makeshift kind of arena type aspect off of like some of his early 80s ones. There's some good pitches like that. I think there's one off his 83, I can't remember, but pick up like a Hot Domino's or Little Caesars pizza on top of that, some of those type pitches within it. Now, Megadeth's discography says that there's a fifth single in the song Liar, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about that one. I don't know why Wikipedia on like the article page for So Far So Good So What doesn't talk about it. It's a good type pitch, so I'm going to assume that it was a single in certain type senses. Good pitches for here. It's like an excellent kind of hellish and harbored kind of malign to get within these products here. Just routine kind of dungeon bang, I'd say about this one. Goes along pretty well with Hook and Mouth. It's just a little bit more vicious pitches like that. Good nice song to grab DVDs. Some of these stuff fairs, just rope up a few chores, some of these stuff aspects. So it's kind of missed the tone. This one's not as much full commerce in mind pitch like that. It does have some pretty shredding typeness about it, but it's just kind of the pitch of, it's kind of a miss the particular pitch. It just likes to get along and just basically just a multitask and a juggling type song within pitch like that. Excellent dungeon fair, like I was saying, good type pitch that kind of have that particular product or like some hangout type noise with your pals. Good pitch like that. Put a few smokish type products in there, some of those type aspects within tone. Have like some Lay's chips, some of those type fairs within the aspect, but also just the product of this probably like, hey, we need to pick up like get like a good Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler type movie, Chris Rock type movie, some of those type pitches. Just figure out where the supplies are at. Just get those party favors going within some of those type pitch to kind of make it more heavy within pitch. This is a pretty shredding type album. I feel like within the pitch, the aspect behind this album, it has plenty of these type bangers on here within the pitch, but it's just more within the variety of actually the productive type fare, more so than the aspect like this is not like considering most thrash albums are kind of considered dungeon. Like when you think of Metallica doing Master Puppets, some of those type ones within pitches like that, and the '91 Black Album, some of those type pitches, kind of the fair as far as saying some of those just feel more consistent to dungeon type fare. This is just kind of, it definitely has the dungeon aspects, but it has seemingly more in mind within the pitch. It just kind of the juggling side of things. So it's this kind of pitch. Songs like Hook and Mouth and Liar are not in like an abundant kind of commonplace on here. It's just kind of miss the pitch that there's just more kind of miss the fray, just like the outing type fare within pitch like that. And I don't mean outing just within like the grocery store type noise and the dance club type noise pitch like that. It's just more miss like the fare, just like some weavings and kind of just like traffic of it. The type products though, but Into the Lungs of Hell is a nice one. It's like a sharp and ravenous kind of prime 80s thrash to get within these products here. Just several shots up, I'd say. Just good for like some Domino's games. Now, to stay within those products, there's also a relatively short album within these pitches just to be able to pay attention to that. This is just an instrumental, Into the Lungs of Hell, so it's good pitches. This would kind of be one with the aspect. This is, I guess I would say within these products that this is another dungeon type one within pitch, but it's just more paying attention to the band work pitch like that, which Saxon type work deals. But this is a crazy type one, but it's more of like an extra type song, but it nails the appeal behind it. Saxon type pitch. Just get some games going, pitch like that. Dominoes games, something that products, poker going, blackjack, something that fairs pitches like that. Just get a few rounds in your system. Get the Crown Royal out, some of those type pitches from the product, good pitches. Set the World Afire is a nice one on here within these aspects, as well as like an excellent wake up. There may actually be some aspects about some of these type ones. I'm going to say that there are a series of dungeon songs on here, pitches like that. It's just kind of the aspect that most of the singles kind of have the more variety. It just miss the aspect to like kind of get along and go as far as this press kind of. But it's within pitch. Set the World Afire is nice, like an excellent wake up and rise and shine. I'd say within these products here, just a dose of like crazy. I would definitely say within these aspects, just some mosh fun. Definitely get here, just have like some hot wings pitches like that. So just kind of miss the commerce, just kind of miss the ferocity of it. So just immediate type ones that snap to it within like the aspect of really getting crunk, some of these type fairs. So it goes along pretty well with Into the Lungs of Hell, Liar, some of these type ones within pitches behind it, Hook and Mouth, some of these type products. So it does have the aspect. But yeah, I would say the combination behind this is just kind of a good dichotomy of like a 1-2 punch that these combine. They work great for like the viciousness of just getting along and getting through the traffic within like a quick type sense, but they also work for some dungeon type fare within the pitch of just like having some ferocious kind of mosh banging pitches like that, getting to the product of just like excellent kind of blackjack and poker type air pitches like that. Some type products. It's just one pitch as far as saying. Then 502 is a hit type one off this album as well. It's like a miss, like some quick commerce and list of errands to kind of get within the products over here. It's like some asking but necessary type chores to get within the products as far as these first gonna happen. Just get chores, get it done, get it out of the way within those pitches as far as the format's gonna happen. It's kind of some day product to kind of get along with. This kind of has some day product to get along with just the ferocity of it, keeps it interesting within those aspects. Definitely throw in like some Taco Bell, McDonald's, some stuff aspects to keep it even further interesting. But yeah, I would definitely say within the aspect for some of these type fairs, if it is like a list of things kind of within the commonplace, having to get done more than 2 or 3 or even 4 some of these type ones, just definitely bring Doritos and Ganjas, some type products just to have for along the fair. So it's good pitches like that within these products. Have a homie or two along. Bring your pals also within the availability pitches like that. But I just look after within the tone. So just the complex, some of these type ones, excellent within the pitch, good products as far as these fairs going to happen. 10 out of 10 album within the products of it, just ferocious, just good continued traces of just like particular 80s thrash metal and pitches like that, just late 80s, early 90s kind of thrash pitches like that. Just another hit and winner for Megadeth as far as these fairs going to happen. Goes pretty well in tandem with like Master of Puppets and Justice for All by Metallica, and even the Black Album from 91 by Metallica, and also goes pretty excellently with Rust in Peace. Now this, a little bit more fierce. I would question what folks would kind of say if folks would prefer this particular album to Rust in Peace, because I feel like Rust in Peace is a little bit more commercial polished, but this actually has better attempts to like singles on here. It's just kind of the fact that they're just more scratchy. It's kind of bubblers, why you question why they didn't charge full. But if I had to guess, it just probably had to do more with like the snap about it within the pitch as far as some of those fairs type happen. It's really paying attention to even some of the songs are recognized by Megadeth within pitches like that, which would be Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, and Hangar 18. Those were good tough songs, but Metallica kind of flattened them in a lot of senses just with like the radio snap they had with songs like Enter Sandman and Sad But True, Holier Than Thou, some of those type ones, Nothing Else Matters, and like Wherever I May Roam, some of those type pitches within those products. So this kind of pitch as far as saying it's just a variety, but I do feel like Megadeth is some good make weight to kind of get within those products. Just extra type fairs for like Thrash to kind of say they're big enough to where they're probably like the second most notable, but it just kind of feels like within certain senses when you have to choose one to fuck with, it's probably Metallica. But just paying attention to the pitch, it just kind of definitely fills up the scale a lot more within further type pitches. It's like a secondary kind of one to fuck with within some stuff tones, which is pretty necessary. So I would definitely fuck with it. Just there's some decently commercial songs off this album. They just didn't chart within these pitches, at least not in America. So it's just within the product. And I question the songs that would get airplay nowadays, 40 years later, within pitches like that. So it's kind of an aspect. But as far as those pairs going to happen, 10 out of 10 album. Social Score would probably get. Social Score might get like a 9.75, but it's really the viciousness as far as saying it has the hit quality on here. It's just kind of pitch the disc. Maybe this isn't as recognizable, so I'm going to say 9.75 Social. But has the commerce songs pretty in high supply pitches like that. The dungeon songs good pitches just to really get tore up to some of these type pitches. Just craziness off the meter. Just being able to say plenty of Crown Royal, plenty of these type pitches. Get some Dominoes, get some egg rolls, get some pitches like that. Bring Doritos along for like the commerce good pitches just to get some productive type things done. It's pretty adjutant and factor within these pitches as far as getting the product done. So it does have like that particular commerce jostle about it. So it's a good pitches. So in terms of future, like supposedly like Megadeth just put out like their final album pitch like that. They dropped like an album in like November 2025 pitch like that. So it's kind of fair. Now keep in mind they've been around since at least the early 80s. It's been quite some time within these pitches. So going on 5 decades, some of these type fairs within the pitch behind it, but excellent type products. Definitely gonna get to more of these. Not sure as to when whatsoever when I'm gonna get to the third when I'm going to get to the third Megadeth review within these pitches as to one that's going to pop up. But this is definitely a classic here, underappreciated, but definitely some blistering type appeal.